Right, I'm live. We're live, Faye. We're live. Let's see if anybody joins and then we can start in a minute because I'm late. Oh, here we go. We've got people joining. Sorry, I'm late as well. I said that I'd come on at 3 o'clock and it's now 3:30. Hi everyone. Hi, I'm really sorry. I said 3 o'clock and then we went for a walk, which ended up longer than it was going to be, but it's beautiful outside today. So we're making the most of the sunshine, even though it's cold, hence the coffee and the red face. Because I've come back and I'm cold, so I've just rushed around to get everything sorted. Hi everyone. Okay, I won't keep you too long because I'm now half an hour late, but you'll learn with me that I'm generally late, so there we go. I'll try not to be before. But anyway, welcome to the first how-to video. It seemed quite popular. Lots of you wanted me to do this. So I'm normally on for games, playing maths and English fun games, but I've decided that perhaps I'll show you a method that I would have taught when I was at school to help link with some of the games as well. Now lots of us are homeschooling and things like that. So today is how to find or calculate change, if we're talking about working with money, how to calculate the change using a number line. This could be for children, it can be for children and grown-ups as well. I haven't really decided whether it's a bit of a lesson to give or whether it's just a demonstration. But anyway, I'm just going to demonstrate how to do it for you, and then I'll save it as an Instagram TV and you can watch it back again if you wanted to. You might have set up a game for your children to play. I've put on quite a few money games recently, or you might just be doing something that school have given you to do with calculating change. But I always go for using the number line method, which probably, particularly younger children in Key Stage 2, sort of 7 years old, they will know and be more familiar with than the column method, okay? This is the column method. I have to pre-write everything out because it comes back to front on Instagram Live, so I've pre-written most things out, but I'll write over the number line bit and demonstrate it. But for instance, if we had a question that was you spent £6.53 in a shop and you've given the person £10, you've paid with a £10 note, what's the change? If your children are confident with the column method of subtraction, which is like this is probably the way they'll go to do it. But I always used to say when I was teaching in class, it's not the best way to calculate change when we're talking about money, because there are so many exchanges, we call these exchanges, to do. Because obviously when you start off, we always start off with this column here. This is the hundredths column, we call this. So you go 0, take away 3, but I can't do that. So then we have to go to our next number to see if we can take anything from that one to pass over, and we can't, so we have to go to that number, that's a 0. So then we have to go to this number, which, as you can see, I've demonstrated it like this. There's loads of crossings out we have to do, loads of passing numbers over, and basically which means then that there's loads of room for error. So I would always say to children, even if you feel confident with this method, I wouldn't use this for calculating change. So I'm not going to do this because I just wanted to use it as an example of what not to do, really. Okay, but if your children are familiar with column method, this is probably the thing that they'll go to. Try and put them off it if you can, and so use a number line. Number line method is also great. Number line method is also great because it helps them to realise what's going on in their head if they want to do it in their head as well. Sorry, 2 seconds, my daughter's just here, so I'm just helping her. There you go. Okay, back to it again. There we go. So number line is basically what they do in their head as well, but we need to get them used to writing it down here, and then they might be able to start visualising it in their head with simpler numbers that they can do. So I've got the same question, so I'm going to write it up. £3.47. Okay, so this is my question here. £10 take away £6.53. I've put the answer already, which is great. It's because I've rewritten it out before. Okay, we'll forget about that answer. I'll cover it over with this. Look, there we go. This is going well. So £10 take away £6.53. So again, just talk through it with your children. You spent £6.53 in the shop and you've paid with a £10 note. So how much change are you going to get? How much change are you going to get back from that? So explain to them the calculation as well, so they understand what all that's about. I think that's really important. Rather than just saying £10 take away £6.53, always explain to them the scenario that they're using to do that. Okay. Number lines are great with everything. We just draw out just a number line like that. Okay. So literally, whoops, a number line straight across. Never things going. Number line straight across, just like that. And we need to put our two numbers on our number line. So we start off by putting our £6.53 down one end, the starting end, and the £10 down the other end. Okay, so we've got our £6.53 here and our £10 here. Okay, so this is our starting number, and this is where we've got to get to. We've got to get to this bit. Okay, the way I always used to explain it was think about what digits we've got here and what digits we've got here. Each of the separate things in a number is called a digit, and then the whole thing is called a number. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to aim to get rid of this 53 here, because we've got no zeros over here. So we want to get rid of this bit here, so that we've got matching zeros really. So the first thing you need to say to children is, okay, we've got £6.53, I've got 3 pennies. I want to get to the next whole 10p, so the next whole 10p. So after 53, what's the next whole 10 after that? So hopefully they'll say, oh, I know that 3 add 7 equals 10. So you can say, brilliant. So the next 10 after 53 is 60. So I'm going to add on 7p. I'm going to try and do it and hold it at the same time so you can see it. So we do a jump, and you can pretend it's a frog doing jumps like that, and you label your jump. My phone's doing something funny at the moment, sorry. Okay, we're back. Anyway, right, so you do your jump and you write add 7p on there, and then down here I'm going to write the amount that I'm now on, which is £6.60. So far I've made it to £6.60. Okay, so I've got a nice round 10 here, but I want to get rid of that because at the end here my number hasn't got anything in the tenths or the hundredths column, in the 10p's or the pennies column. So the next thing I need to do is say, okay, what's the next whole pound after £6.60? So hopefully they'll realise that the next pound after £6.60 is £7. And you'll say to them, okay, brilliant. So how many pennies are there in a pound? And hopefully they'll know that it's 100 pennies in a pound. So how many more pennies do I need to add on to £6.60 to get to the next whole pound, which is £7? So again, good use of what we call number bonds, knowing that 60 and 40 makes 100. Hopefully they'll recognise that their next jump they've got to do is to add on 40p. Okay, so we're going to add on 40p, and then we're going to put there, so to remind us what we're on, we're going to put 7. Okay, so now we're up to £7. So this is looking better now, because now our pennies and our 10p's match our finishing point here. So now the last bit's nice and easy. All we need to say is, how many more pounds do I need to add on to £7 to get to £10? And they can do that if they know their number bonds. 7 and 3 make 10. They can start with 7 and go 8, 9, 10. Counting on your fingers isn't wrong, it's not bad. So we can literally jump across. And add that one in as well, okay? Now the last thing, they're not quite there now, they've done really well because they've started at their what they've spent, and they've ended now at their £10, which they gave to the shopkeeper. Now the last thing they've got to do is just to add those jumps up, and that's going to tell them the change that they've got. So £3 and a 40p and a 7p, and they get £3.47 there. Excuse the poor writing. When you do it backwards, it's really weird. Okay, so that's what we call a number line. These are great for loads of things, not just calculating change with money. They're great for loads of things, but I would always suggest, if you're just learning how to do it, or if you're working with larger numbers, and it's you're starting to find that children are making mistakes, they're trying to do it in their head all the time, go for this method here. And you're always about getting rid of the pennies first, then getting rid of the 10p's, always asking questions like, what do I do to get to the next whole 10p and the next whole pound? Okay, so definitely that's the way to go. If you've just joined, I'm just saying, lots of children, if they're confident with column subtraction, will go for that method to work out change. There's lots of room for error on that one, because we've got to do lots of crossings out and lots of exchanging, lots of things that can go wrong with doing it like that. So even the most confident of children, I would still go for using a number line like that if you can. And then probably, if you start doing it like that, they will visualise it in their head, and they will start being able to do a question like that in their head a little bit as well. I'm not saying in your head is always better, but for some things they might be able to work it out a bit quicker. But if you've used this number line, they'll be able to basically do this in their head. Quite often I used to say to children that said, I did it in my head, so I used to say to them, how did you do it then? Explain to me. And they would basically explain this method. So this is a really good way to start. That's what I always used to taught as well. I'm not saying it's definitely the one to do. I'm sure there's lots of other methods. There always is. But this is the one I used to teach and still use now, and tends to work. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Sorry it was all a bit chaotic and I came on late, but I hope it was worth it, and my next one will be a bit more rehearsed and planned. But there you go. We're all going through it at the minute, aren't we? Okay. Does anyone have any questions about that, or have I not explained it right? If you're live and you want to just quickly ask a question, my little one is still playing nicely, so I'm about. If not, I will leave you to it. And if you give it a go and it works, great. If you still need to ask anything, then just send me a message. I'll always help. Okay. Glad it's helpful. Thanks to everyone that's come along. Next time it will be on time, I promise. Okay. I might see as well if people would like these done kind of aimed more at children, but I was just doing these really as a demonstration, and then you can look back and always use it to help. Okay, brilliant. Okay, thanks very much for coming, and I'll see you hopefully next week for another how-to video. Oh, somebody's just asked, what age can you start teaching this? Well, all my kind of games and things are for Key Stage 2, so you're talking sort of 6 to 7 to 11 year olds. I'd have used this when I taught in year 3, so if a child's in year 3, so 7 years old, I would have used this method. They will be really used to number lines in Key Stage 1 as well. So if you think they're ready and able for it, obviously just use simple numbers. Don't start off with £10, £20. Do something like £4.50. You spent £4.50 and you paid with a £5 note. Then you're only doing one jump. It just starts them getting used to that. Then when they start getting more confident, you spent £3.50, so then they've got to do the 50p jump to get to £4, and then the pound jump. So just you can use that with any of them, with any age really. Just make your numbers simpler to start off with. Brilliant. Yeah, so yeah, that would be as part of a lesson, and they practice it. But yeah, if you're at home, and then my lessons as well would have been introduced that if it was a new method, get them to practice, but get them to practice in a game if possible, so that they're using that method but playing and having fun whilst doing it, rather than just a whole worksheet of question after question after question. I think that's better. That's just me though. Okay. All right then, thanks everyone for watching. I'll save it as an Instagram TV so you can look back, and I can look back in dread for the first how-to that wasn't very well organised, but hopefully it's helped a little bit. Okay, thanks a lot, bye.